Qur'an, chapter 18, Surah Al-Kahf. Translation by Muhammad Al-Amrani. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. All praise is due to God, who has sent down upon his servant the book, free of any crookedness, perfect and upright, to warn of a severe punishment from him, and to bring glad tidings to the believers who do righteous deeds, that they shall have a fair reward, wherein they shall dwell forever. And to warn those who claim that God has taken a son, no knowledge do they have of this, nor did their forefathers. How grievous is the word that comes from their mouths! They speak nothing but falsehood. Perhaps, O Prophet, you would consume yourself in grief, following in their footsteps, if they do not believe in this message out of sorrow. Yet we have adorned the earth with all its beauty, to test which of them is best in deeds, and surely we shall reduce whatever is on it to barren dust. Do you think the companions of the cave and the inscription were a wonder among our signs? When the youths sought refuge in the cave, they prayed, "Our Sustainer, grant us mercy from yourself and guide us rightly in our affair." So we cast a veil of deep sleep over their ears for many years in the cave. Then we raised them again, that we might know which of the two groups had better kept count of the time they remained. We narrate to you their story in truth. They were young men who believed in their Sustainer, and we increased them in guidance. And we strengthened their hearts when they stood up and proclaimed, "Our Sustainer is the Sustainer of the heavens and the earth. Never shall we call upon any god besides him, for that would be a grave error. These people of ours have taken gods besides him. Why do they not bring forth clear evidence? And who is more unjust than one who fabricates a lie against God? And when you have withdrawn from them and from what they worship besides God, seek refuge in the cave. Your Sustainer will spread out for you of his mercy and make your affair easy. And you would have seen the sun as it rose, inclining away from their cave to the right, and as it set, passing them on the left, while they lay in a spacious chamber. That is from the signs of God. Whoever God guides, he is rightly guided, and whoever he leaves astray, you will not find for him any protector to guide him. You would think them awake, though they are asleep. We turn them over to the right and to the left, while their dog lies stretched with its forelegs at the entrance. If you had come upon them, you would have fled from them, filled with fear. And thus we awakened them, so that they might question one another. One of them said, "How long have you stayed?" They said, "We have stayed a day, or part of a day." Others said, "Your Sustainer knows best how long you have stayed. Send one of you with this silver coin of yours to the city, and let him see which food is purest, and bring you provision. But let him be cautious, and let no one become aware of you. For if they discover you, they will stone you or force you back into their religion, and then you will never succeed." And thus we made their story known, so that they would know that the promise of God is true, and that the hour is beyond any doubt. As they debated among themselves about their case, some said, "Build a structure over them. Their Sustainer knows best about them." But those who prevailed in the matter said, "We will surely build a place of worship over them." Some will say they were 3, and their dog was the 4th. Others will say they were 5, and their dog was the 6th, guessing at the unseen. Still others will say they were 7, and their dog was the 8th. Say, "My Sustainer knows best their number, none knows them but a few." So do not argue about them except with clear knowledge, and do not inquire about them from anyone, and never say of anything, "I will do that tomorrow," except by adding, "if God wills." And remember your Sustainer when you forget, and say, "Perhaps my Sustainer will guide me to something nearer to right conduct." And they remained in their cave for 300 years, and 9 more were added. Say, God knows best how long they remained. To him belongs the unseen of the heavens and the earth. How clearly he sees, how well he hears. They have no protector besides him, and he shares his command with none. Recite what has been revealed to you of the book of your Sustainer. None can change his words, and you will not find any refuge besides him. And keep yourself patient with those who call upon their Sustainer in the morning and the evening, seeking his face. And do not let your eyes pass beyond them, desiring the adornments of worldly life. And do not obey one whose heart we have made heedless of our remembrance, who follows his own desires and whose affair is ever in neglect. And say, the truth is from your sustainer, so let him who wills believe, and let him who wills disbelieve. Surely we have prepared for the wrongdoers a fire whose walls will surround them. If they call for relief, they will be relieved with water like molten brass that will scald their faces. What a dreadful drink and an evil resting place! Indeed, those who believe and do righteous deeds, we do not waste the reward of those who do well. For them are gardens of eternity, beneath which rivers flow. They will be adorned therein with bracelets of gold, and will wear green garments of fine silk and brocade, reclining therein on raised thrones. Excellent is the reward, and good is the resting place. And give them an example of 2 men. To one of them we gave 2 gardens of grapevines, and we surrounded them with date palms and placed crops between them. Both gardens yielded their produce without any loss, and we caused a river to flow in their midst, and he had abundant fruit. So he said to his companion while conversing with him, I am greater than you in wealth and mightier in numbers. And he entered his garden while wronging himself. He said, I do not think that this will ever perish, and I do not think that the hour will ever come. And even if I am brought back to my sustainer, I will surely find something better than this in return. His companion said to him, while conversing with him, Do you disbelieve in the one who created you from dust, then from a sperm drop, then formed you into a man? But as for me, he is God, my sustainer, and I do not associate anyone with my sustainer. And why, when you entered your garden, did you not say, What God has willed has occurred. There is no power except in God. Although you see me less than you in wealth and children, it may be that my sustainer will give me something better than your garden, and will send upon it a calamity from the sky, so that it becomes a smooth, dusty ground, or its water will become deep sunken, so you will never be able to seek it out. And his fruit was encompassed by ruin. And he began to turn his hands over what he had spent on it, while it had collapsed on its trellises. He said, Oh, I wish I had not associated with my sustainer anyone. And there was for him no company to aid him other than God, nor could he defend himself. There the authority is completely for God, the truth. He is best in reward and best in outcome, and present to them the example of the life of this world, like water which we send down from the sky, and the vegetation of the earth mingles with it, and then it becomes dry remnants, scattered by the winds. And God is over all things competent. Wealth and children are the adornment of the life of this world, but the enduring good deeds are better to your sustainer for reward, and better for one's hope. And on that day we shall cause the mountains to vanish, and you will see the earth laid bare, and we shall gather them all together, leaving none of them behind. And they will be lined up before your sustainer, and he will say, Now you have come to us as we created you the first time, though you claimed that we would never appoint for you a meeting. And the book of deeds will be laid open, and you will see the sinners in dread of what is in it, and they will say, Woe to us! What is with this book that leaves out nothing small or great, but has counted it? And they will find all that they did present before them, and your sustainer does not wrong anyone. And remember when we said to the angels, Prostrate to Adam, and they prostrated, except Iblis, who was of the jinn, and rebelled against the command of his sustainer. Will you then take him and his progeny as allies besides me, while they are your enemies? How wretched a substitute for the wrongdoers! I did not make them witness to the creation of the heavens and the earth, nor to the creation of themselves, and I would not take the misleaders as assistants. And on that day he will say, Call upon my partners whom you claimed, and they will call upon them, but they will not respond to them. And we shall place between them a barrier, and the criminals will see the fire and realize that they are to fall into it, and they will find from it no escape. And we have indeed diversified for the people in this Qur'an every kind of example, but man has always been most contentious, and nothing prevented the people from believing when guidance came to them, and from seeking their sustainers' forgiveness, except that they demanded that the fate of the former peoples should befall them, or the punishment should come before them. And we do not send the messengers except as bearers of good news and as warners, and those who disbelieve dispute with falsehood to refute the truth, and they take my signs and warnings as a mockery. And who is more unjust than one who is reminded of the signs of his sustainer, yet turns away from them, forgetting what his own hands have sent forth? Verily, we have placed coverings over their hearts, lest they understand it, and deafness in their ears. And if you call them to guidance, they will never be guided, ever. And your sustainer is forgiving, full of mercy. Were he to take them to task for what they have earned, he would have hastened the punishment for them. But they have an appointment from which they will find no escape. And those towns, we destroyed them when they wronged, and we appointed for their destruction a fixed time. And behold, Moses said to his young companion, I shall not cease my journey until I reach the meeting point of the two seas, even if it takes me ages. But when they reached the place where the two seas meet, they forgot their fish, which took its course into the sea, slipping away. When they had passed beyond it, Moses said to his companion, Bring us our meal, for we have certainly suffered much fatigue in this our journey. The companion replied, Do you recall when we sought refuge by the rock? Indeed, I forgot the fish. And it was none but Satan who made me forget to mention it to you, and it made its way into the sea in a wondrous manner. Moses exclaimed, That is what we were seeking. So they retraced their steps, following the path they had come. There they found one of our servants whom we had graced with mercy from us, and to whom we had imparted knowledge from our presence. Moses said to him, May I follow you so that you might teach me some of the wisdom you have been given? The man replied, You will not be able to bear patiently with me, and how can you be patient in matters beyond your knowledge? Moses said, You will find me, if God wills, patient, and I shall not disobey any command of yours. The man said, Then if you follow me, do not question me about anything until I mention it to you. So they set out until they boarded a ship, and the man made a hole in it. Moses cried out, Have you made a hole in it to drown its people? Indeed, you have done a grave thing. The man replied, Did I not tell you that you would not be able to bear patiently with me? Moses said, Do not take me to account for what I forgot, and do not be harsh with me in this matter. So they continued until they came upon a young boy, and the man killed him. Moses exclaimed, Have you killed an innocent soul without right? Indeed, you have done an atrocious thing. The man replied, Did I not tell you that you would not be able to bear patiently with me? Moses said, If I ask you about anything after this, then you are free to part from me. You have surely received sufficient excuse from me. So they continued on their way until they came to a town. They asked its people for food, but they refused to offer them hospitality. Then they found a wall about to collapse, and the man repaired it. Moses said, If you had wished, you could have taken a wage for this. The man replied, This is where we part ways. Now I shall explain to you the meaning of what you could not bear patiently. As for the ship, it belonged to poor people working at sea, and I wanted to damage it because a king was coming behind them, seizing every sound ship by force. As for the boy, his parents were believers, and we feared that he would overwhelm them with rebellion and disbelief. So we desired that their sustainer should replace him with one more righteous and closer in affection. As for the wall, it belonged to two orphan boys in the town, and beneath it was a treasure for them, left by their righteous father. So your sustainer desired that they should come of age and retrieve their treasure as an act of mercy from your sustainer. I did not do any of this on my own accord. That is the interpretation of what you could not bear patiently. They ask you about Dhul-Qarnayn. Say, I will recount to you something of his story. Verily we established him with power upon the earth, and we gave him means to all things. So he followed a path until when he reached the setting of the sun, he found it setting in a dark, murky spring, and near it a people. We said, O Dhul-Qarnayn, either you may punish them or treat them with kindness. He said, As for the one who wrongs, we shall punish him, and then he will return to his sustainer, who will punish him with a severe punishment. But as for the one who believes and does righteous deeds, for him is the best reward, and we shall speak to him with ease. Then he followed another path until he reached the place where the sun rises, and he found it rising upon a people for whom we had not made any shelter from it. Thus it was, and we encompassed with our knowledge all that was with him. Then he followed another path until he reached the space between two mountains, where he found a people who could barely understand a word. They said, "O Dul Karnain, indeed Gog and Magog are causing corruption in the land. So may we pay you to build a barrier between us and them?" He replied, "What my sustainer has given me is better, but assist me with strength, and I will build between you and them a formidable barrier. Bring me blocks of iron." So when he had filled the gap between the two mountains, he said, "Blow with your bellows," until he made the iron a blazing fire. Then he said, "Bring me molten copper to pour over it." Thus Gog and Magog were unable to scale it, nor could they breach it. Then he said, "This is a mercy from my sustainer, but when the promise of my sustainer comes, he will level it to dust, and the promise of my sustainer is ever true. On that day we will let them surge against one another like waves, and the trumpet will be blown, and we will gather them all together. On that day we will lay hell bare before the disbelievers, those whose eyes were covered against my remembrance, and who could not bear to hear. Do those who disbelieve think that they can take my servants as protectors besides me? Verily, we have prepared hell as a resting place for the disbelievers. Say, shall we inform you of those who are the greatest losers in their deeds? Those whose efforts in this world were misguided, yet they thought they were doing good. These are the ones who have denied the signs of their sustainer and the meeting with him. So their deeds have come to nothing, and we will assign them no weight on the day of resurrection. That is their recompense. Hell, for they disbelieved and took my signs and my messengers in mockery. Indeed, those who believe and do righteous deeds shall have the gardens of paradise as their abode, wherein they will dwell forever, never desiring any change from it. Say, if the sea were ink for the words of my sustainer, the sea would be exhausted before the words of my sustainer were spent, even if we brought the like of it as replenishment. Say, I am only a human being like you, but it has been revealed to me that your God is one God. So whoever hopes to meet his sustainer, let him do righteous deeds and not associate anyone in the worship of his sustainer.